All right, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever in this world it is that you are. Welcome once more to another live stream of Alexandra Mayers Live. I almost couldn't say it. Alexandra Mayers Live, page by page, reading and commentary of the modern English version of the Bible. Today, we're going to return to the book of Judges. We're going to go into chapters 12 and 13. Both are fairly short. I have not pre-read them or anything, so you'll get my initial commentary and reaction. I've really been enjoying the book of Judges. It's prompted me to go more so in depth, especially chapters about 5 through 13. Well, I shouldn't have said 13 because we haven't gone into 13 yet, but up until where we are right now, this is one of the better books of the Bible, in my opinion. I'm surprised it's not more popular, but maybe I shouldn't be more surprised that it's not popular because the story of Abimelech, that was interesting. That was a very interesting story when it comes to how sons who are born outside of a man's traditional marriage often are slighted, and it went into how he really felt about how he'd been slighted and treated. The way that women who were concubines at this time were regarded opposed to women who were officially a man's wife. So it's some pretty touchy subjects. On a personal note, I'm feeling good today. I want to make that known. I'm feeling very, very, very good. I'm tripping over my words a little bit because where I am, legal cannabis recreationally does exist. And in no way, shape, or form am I encouraging the use of cannabis because I am not a medical professional. But for certain people, it's a good thing. But yeah, I'm having a good day today. I guess the theme of my day today so far, when it comes to interpersonal relationships that I have, is that misery truly does love company. It really does, which is why I really enjoy this phase of my life right now of being single and not living with anybody or anything, or even having a roommate or anything along those lines. Because some people, I swear, even people from a distance, no matter how much you try with them, they're just naturally going to be miserable. And such people do tend to gravitate more so toward being in a particular community, or such people often gravitate toward gangs, established groups. I've never been that kind of person. I really like being independent a lot. Okay. I've never had a group mentality or a gang mentality. And as I'm getting older, I'm realizing it's because naturally I'm pretty happy. Things have happened in life to where I've been down in the dumps, yeah. But for the most part, my baseline, my natural state is being pretty happy and optimistic because I enjoy life a lot. And if I find I'm not enjoying life, I alter my life to where I do enjoy my life again. But some people don't seem to know how to do that. And I've come to realize that. I'm not going to name any names or anything. I'm just going to, put this out as a story of a sort. But it's a true story. It's something that's happened in my life recently. Recently, there's a young woman out there who I definitely made a big effort to make peace with, okay? I thought she was at peace with the situation, but apparently not. And at first, I didn't want to look at the first sign of her not being at peace with it as being a thing. but I received a second sign, strangely in the form of one of her relatives. You would be surprised as to how often I've gotten to know entire families over the years throughout my independent investigative journalism. And it's never been intentional, but sometimes there's been cases to where I've done journalism covering a person, and then through the strangest of circumstances, I get to know their entire families. And for the most part, it's been a positive experience, I'd say. But it's a good thing I do know someone else in this person's family, because it wasn't even in like the farthest reaches of my mind that this person, who was the woman who I thought I made peace with, was kind of plotting against me under the guise of having let things go, which is hurtful, but it is what it is. I'm not going to say anything about it. That's why I'm not naming any names, because you never know who's listening to my Bible readings for whatever reasons from other areas of the internet that I may or not be a part of. But it occurred to me, because I thought about it over the past 24 or so hours when it comes to the situation, and I was like, well, I guess I shouldn't have ever taken so personally that this person had so much disdain for me. And the reason I say that is because this person, this young woman, and in one of my own chat rooms, someone who I'm a friend of, or friends with, a male, who for whatever reason she took issue with him too, he's never really said anything about this particular young lady. Not much. And it's been so many years. But the venom that she had for him, it equaled the venom that she'd had for me. And I thought to myself, this isn't about anything in particular. This is just about this particular young lady, in actuality, just naturally being a very miserable person and scapegoating others for her own choices, for her own emotions and feelings. And she's just looking for people to yell at and have a problem with. And then I really thought about it. The young man who she was being negative towards, for no reason really, he and I are actually very similar people. We're both naturally happy, both hard workers, and both have a similar set of values when it comes to really thinking things through. And it occurred to me, I'm like, she just doesn't like the kind of people that me and this young man are. That's what it is. She also probably is envious, because both myself and this young man financially are in good shape in life. So I thought that was interesting, but that's my theme for today. Misery loves company. Because I've just decided I don't want anyone around me anymore who's miserable. I'll probably have very little company going forward, as far as my social circle is definitely rapidly shrinking yet again. But I just don't want certain types of drama in my life anymore. And it's been through these Bible readings that I've really started to truly appreciate what it is to be human, to have a certain mental capacity, which I believe is a gift from God, and truly acknowledging free will, the fact that we all do have the power to change our life, however it is that we want to change our life, you know? So those of you out there who are often miserable, stop blaming other people and other situations, and just change whatever it is that you need to change in yourself or in your surroundings, so that you don't end up missing out on having connections with others that would probably be healthy for you, but that you're inadvertently pushing away because you're just looking for a reason to be upset. Just saying. So anyway, Judges 12. I wonder what this is going to be about. I know already I'm going to have to read a bit of this another time on my own, because Judges, I really enjoy the initial reading, but this particular book of the Bible, I'm finding that I'm having to reread a couple times because as I go through each portion, because there's so many characters, so many names, so many people. And a lot of these names are foreign names to me. So I have to kind of like reassign certain names that I've never heard before to names that are more commonly known to me in order to remember the story properly. But that's just how my mind works. Jephthah and Ephraim. The men of Ephraim gathered together and crossed over to Zaphon. They said to Jephthah, "Why did you go to wage war with the Ammonites and not call us to go with you? We will burn down your house right on top of you." Jephthah said to them, "My people and I were in a very great conflict with the Ammonites. I called you, but you did not save me from their hands. When I saw that you were not going to save me, I took my life in my own hands and crossed over to the Ammonites. Then the Lord gave them into my hands. Now why have you come up to me today to wage war against me?" Then Jephthah assembled all the men of Gilead and fought with Ephraim. The men of Gilead struck Ephraim down, for they had said, "You Gileadites are fugitives in Ephraim, living in Ephraim and Manasseh." Gilead captured the fords of the Jordan River leading to Ephraim. Whenever an Ephraimite fugitive would say, "Let me cross," the Gileadite men would say to him, "Are you an Ephraimite?" If he said no, then he would say to them, "Say Shibboleth." Yet he would say Sibboleth. So the first word was with an SH, but he responded just with a simple S, for he could not pronounce it correctly. These are hard names to pronounce. It's funny that this is in the Bible about someone not being able to pronounce these names correctly. These are hard. There's so many syllables in a lot of these names. You would definitely have to have a relatively flexible tongue and really work at your speech just to say some of these words and names. Okay, so he was supposed to say Shibboleth, but he pronounced it Sibboleth because he couldn't say it right. Then they would grab him and kill him at the Jordan fords. Oh, just because you can't say it, you're going to get killed. That's horrible. During that time, 42,000 from Ephraim fell. Jephthah judged Israel for 6 years. When Jephthah the Gileadite died, he was buried among the cities of Gilead. Okay. Well, I don't feel so bad now about not being able to pronounce these names properly. In the Bible, people couldn't do it too, but they would get killed for it. Fortunately, I'm still alive. Here we go. Ibzan, Elon, and Abdon. Elon. Okay, so now we know where Elon Musk got his name from. The book of Judges, chapter 12. Look at that. After him, Ibzan of Bethlehem judged Israel. He had 30 sons, and he gave 30 daughters in marriage outside his clan. And he brought 30 daughters from outside for his sons. That's a lot of people. He had a lot of kids and daughters-in-laws. He judged Israel for 7 years. Then Ibzan died and was buried in Bethlehem. After him, Elon, the Zebulunite, judged Israel. He judged Israel for 10 years. Elon the Zebulunite died and was buried in Aijalon in the land of Zebulun. I like that name, Zebulun. Sounds kind of spacey. Planet Zebulun. It just does to me. It sounds like the name of a planet, maybe in like a 1950s sci-fi. Not 1950s, maybe like 1970s or 80s sci-fi B movie. Yeah. After him, Abdon, son of Hillel, the Pirathonite, judged Israel. He had 40 sons and 30 grandsons who rode 70 donkeys. He judged Israel for 8 years. Abdon, son of Hillel, the Pirathonite, died and was buried in Pirathon in the land of Ephraim in the Amalekite hill country. All right, well, that's the end of Judges 12. We're going to go ahead and go into Judges 13. I think it's interesting how they ride donkeys at this point instead of horses. I guess donkeys would be more sturdy, maybe less expensive. Maybe they were more proprietary to the area. But it does make me wonder. Donkeys instead of horses. I would prefer to ride a horse, but I guess donkeys are nice too. Judges 13, the birth of Samson. Ooh, that's a familiar name to many of us, Samson. Again, the Israelites did evil in the sight of the Lord. So the Lord gave them into the hands of the Philistines for 40 years. Okay, so the Israelites, once again, for some reason, they keep straying from the God that they're supposed to be worshiping. And that makes the Lord upset. So whenever the Lord gets upset, he hands his people, the Israelites, back into slavery. It happens over and over and over and over again because they don't learn, which is why it's important to pay attention in life and make good choices, take good advice, do good things. That way you don't find yourself in trouble. There was a certain man from Zorah, from the tribe of Dan. His name was Manoah. His wife was infertile and had borne no children. The angel of the Lord appeared to the woman and said to her, "Behold, you are barren and have borne no children. Yet you will conceive and bear a son. Now be careful. I pray that you drink no wine or strong drink, and that you don't eat anything unclean. For behold, you will conceive and bear a son. No razor may touch his head, for the boy will be a Nazirite to God from the womb. He will begin to save Israel from the hand of the Philistines." Well, that's interesting. Okay, so the angel of the Lord appears to this woman who is barren. She thinks, a lot of time probably had gone by in her life. She thought, oh, I'm never going to have any kids. I haven't ever managed to get pregnant. And then an angel appears. Now, see, this is where that darn Giorgio Tsoukalakis would say, oh, it wasn't an angel, it was an ancient alien. I'm so sick of that man right now. I really am, because I can see how in this particular book of the Bible, he does have an argument there. The angel of the Lord who came to this woman repaired whatever was going on in her uterus medically. Was it through strictly spiritual power, or was it through technology? Good question, because when you pay attention to what the angel told her, it sounds kind of like doctor's instructions. Don't imbibe any alcohol, don't take anything strong, your body's healing, eat well, don't eat anything dangerous, make sure that whatever you eat is cooked properly, make sure it's clean. Sounds like doctor's instructions. So regardless, though, I'm glad that she was able to have a son. Good for her. Okay, so what does she say? Then Manoah prayed to the Lord, "Oh my Lord, let the man of God whom you sent come again to us, so that he can teach us what we should do for the boy who will be born." And the boy who's going to be born is going to be Samson, okay? God listened to the voice of Manoah, and the angel of God came again to the woman. So the healing angel appears again. Wonder who this angel is. She was sitting in the field, but her husband, Manoah, was not with her. The woman ran quickly and told her husband, "Behold, the man who came to me the other day has appeared to me." So Manoah got up and went after his wife. He came to the man and said to him, "Are you the man who spoke to my wife?" He said, "I am." Then Manoah said, "Now may your words come true. What will be the boy's way of life and his work?" The angel of the Lord said to Manoah, "Your wife must observe everything that I said to her. She must not consume anything that grows on the vine. She must not drink wine or strong drink, and she must not eat anything unclean. She must observe everything that I commanded her." So the woman it seems like she's not sure. Is this a man who's telling me these instructions? Maybe they're not clear that it's an angel. The angel, I guess, appears to be human-like to them. And again, is this an angel? Is this a doctor? Is it an ancient alien? You have to wonder in this particular book. I like this book of the Bible. But again, they're reaffirming what she needs to avoid or abstain from when it comes to consuming food or drink. It's like a prescription. Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, "Please let us detain you and let us prepare a young goat for you." The angel of the Lord said to Manoah, "If I stay, I will not eat your food. But if you want to make an offering to the Lord, you shall offer it." For Manoah did not know that he was an angel of the Lord. Okay, so obviously, and the Bible even affirms this to us, the reader. This man and his wife, they didn't really know that this was an angel. They didn't know that this was somebody not like themselves. And that's nice that they offered the angel food, but wherever the angel was from, the angel probably was a little bit germophobic and was like, "Thanks for your hospitality, but I can't eat your food." I'm sorry. All right, let's keep going. Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, "What is your name, so that we can honor you when your words come true?" The angel of the Lord said to him, "Why do you ask my name? It is too wonderful." Manoah took the young goat and the grain offering and offered them to the Lord upon a rock. Then he did a wondrous thing while Manoah and his wife watched. When the flame went up from the altar toward the heavens, the angel of the Lord went up in the flames from the altar. Seeing this, Manoah and his wife fell face down on the ground. The angel of the Lord did not appear again to Manoah and his wife. Then Manoah knew that he was an angel of the Lord. Okay, so the angel at the end, they weren't sure. They were like, this is kind of like a strange human, but no way can this be a divine being. But once they offered the goat, Manoah beamed up back into heaven, or the ancient alien starship. However you want to look at it, this is a cool part of the Bible. I like this book of the Bible, Judges 13. Okay. Manoah said to his wife, "We are certainly going to die, for we have seen God." No, you saw an angel, Manoah. Manoah doesn't strike me as being that bright for some reason. I don't know. Yet his wife said to him, "If the Lord wanted to kill us, he would have not taken the burnt offering and grain offering from us. He would not have shown us these things, nor let us hear things such as these at this time." So the woman bore a son, and she called him Samson. The boy grew, and the Lord blessed him. The Spirit of the Lord began to move upon him at Mahanadan, between Zorah and Eshtaol. Okay. Well, I'm glad I went into Judges 13 today. Judges 13, that's cool. I like that part of the Bible. The reaction of Manoah and his wife to the angel, I thought was funny. I thought that was funny. They probably suspected something was up with this angel, but they just weren't sure. So anyway, I kind of didn't finish my personal story as to the second reason that I know a certain young lady is somebody who has the misery loves company sort of mentality. I kind of touched on it earlier before we went into today's reading, but I'll reaffirm what I was saying. Over the years, throughout my independent investigative journalism, sometimes when I cross people like this young lady, I end up getting to know their entire family. It's interesting. But because I know one of her family members, the family member likes me a lot, which is nice. And he warned me about her. And he didn't have to do that at all, but he did. So I'll keep y'all posted on that story. I think that the young lady should just go on her way and forget that she ever knew of me, truthfully. I think that would be her best bet. Because that's what I'm going to do. As of today, she's completely out of my mind. So that's it for today. I like to mix a little personal with the biblical on occasion. I'm going to probably run some errands and do some work the rest of the day and the rest of the week. Everyone take care. Thanks for listening.